Good evening, everyone. I'm Sheree Stokes, the Executive Director with the Alabama Collective, and welcome to our virtual informational session for the HBCU App Build and Pitch Competition for 2025. Just to tell you a little bit about the event, if you have not participated before, this competition is an opportunity for HBCU students, faculty, staff, and recent alumni to form teams to showcase their creativity and their skills in application development. Our competition is actually open to all of those categories. And what we'd like to do is put a spotlight on what you're doing and your knowledge base in software application skills. But we'd also like you to be able to pitch those ideas to a panel of judges. Our hopes are that you take your winnings and you make that application come true. We will award almost $15,000 in cash prizes to those that are winning the competition. It will take place as a live event on Wednesday, the 9th of April, where we will have a training workshop and also a pitch finale and networking reception. That will happen at Montgomery Whitewater in Montgomery, Alabama. So let's go over a few of the rules for this year's competition. Your team lead must be either a current student, a faculty, a staff member, or a recent alum of an Alabama HBCU or HBCC. You may have other team members on your team that are not current students of an Alabama HBCU or HBCC, but your team lead must be an active student, recent graduate, or a faculty or staff member. Also, when you submit your video pitch competition and your video pitch submission, it must have and demonstrate a working application. That application could actually be across any industry. It may be an app that you develop for social innovation. It could be in the medical or healthcare space. It could be something cybersecurity or education related. It could be something for real estate. It runs the gamut, but we're open to all sorts of applications. But honestly, what we'd like you to do is really focus on how you can innovate across our HBC communities within the state of Alabama. You can use commercial software, you can use low code, no code, you can use open source software and libraries, as long as it's publicly available, and we have to be able to have open links to your application when you submit your video. We will not accept wireframes or design mockups. You have to have a working application in your video. Your 5-minute video will be due by 6:59 p.m. Central Time on March 20th. And if you are selected as one of the top 10, at least one representative from your team must attend the pitch finale that's going to be at in Montgomery on Wednesday, April 9th. That is a full day event. If you're not currently in Montgomery, we will provide a travel stipend for your team. Next chart. Now, we've already talked about the eligibility for your team composition. You can have as many team members as you'd like or as few team members as you like. It's completely up to you. But I will caution you and at least advise you that having a good diverse team with individuals that are highly skilled on the technical side, computer science, but also those that are skilled on the marketing and communication side and entrepreneurship would often help and at least be advantageous for your team. Next chart. Now, when it comes to the judging criteria, the criteria will remain the same through all 3 rounds of the judging competition. So for your video submissions, you get 30 points to ensure that you meet the requirements, and we will go over those. You'll also get 30 points for the quality of the video that you submit, and then 20 points for the viability of your idea. This is when we'll actually assess, is this an idea that's feasible? Is it really a problem that we need to solve? And that would be a good business. And also the technical competency. And so we'd like to understand the type of app that you've actually developed, certainly understanding the programming language that you may have used, And then definitely if you had any technical challenges and how you overcame those. Next chart. When you look at the submission requirements, those that you have to make sure that you meet when you're submitting your video submission for March 20th. You have to introduce your team. We want to know who you are, what schools you're attending, your classification and majors. Also, what's the name of your application? And also, what problem is your application solving? Any research that you may have done in order to build that application, an impact statement. Really let us know what's the intended impact of your application, how it may impact the community, maybe your campus, or the area in which your problem has been identified. And then the technical details that I spoke about. Let us know about the app, the programming language, whether you used AI, whether it's a database or a platform that you're actually structuring it on. And then also, like we said, it has to have a working demo of that application. If you incurred any technical challenges, which oftentimes may happen, it's okay to let us know about those, but also let us know how you overcame those challenges. And then if you were to get the funding and you were to win first place, let us know. How would you actually utilize that funding to further develop your application and to grow your business? Now, your app. We already said it's got to be a working application, and you can provide solutions for any industry. But again, that focus should be on fostering innovation. Now, if it's incomplete, you could definitely let us know that. You may say, hey, there were 5 steps I wanted to get to. I only got to 3. And as long as you show that you've worked through that and we could see that working application, it's okay. But you've got to let us know what your technical difficulties were. And like we said, ensuring that you let us know what the software types were. Again, no design mockups or wireframes will be allowed. That you will not get credit for those if that's all that's included. It must show a screen recording of your working app in the video submission. Next chart. Now here's the timeline. Everything is actually located on our website, but on March 20th is when your video application is due. By March 28th, we plan to notify all of the finalists that have made it to the top 10. And then on pitch day, everyone needs to arrive before 9 a.m. We'll do check-in, we'll have a welcome. We actually have a full lineup of training workshops to help you throughout the day. We'll also have a lunch and learn, so meals will be provided, breakfast, lunch, and a dinner reception. We'll also bring in some small group mentors and do that session before we have the networking reception and pitch finale. Again, it is a full day, but it's an awesome day that we have planned for you. If you have any questions, here is the email that you can reach us at, and it's hbcu-ie@titleits.com. I would encourage you to use any of the resources that you have, like your teachers, the internet, of course, YouTube, TikTok, and other platforms, open source tools, friends and classmates, as you're building your application. Do your discovery, do your research, but have an awesome time doing so. You can always reach us and stay engaged with us through our website and through our additional social channels. I'll now open it up for any questions that you all may have. Feel free to put those in the chat, and or you can come off of mute and come on video or not and ask the question. Happy to answer any of those.
Are there no questions at all? This is a good time to ask all the questions you need.
Did have one. I'm sorry. Would past app submissions be acceptable for this, or would you guys want us to create something new for a different industry or something like that?
You're welcome to do a past submission. I would, however, update your video, and or maybe if you've made updates to your application itself, certainly I would speak to that, but it's okay to revamp an app that you've already started and created. We're completely okay with you fine tuning work that you've begun.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? One thing I wanted to clarify from the criteria, it talks about that your video is the app is I think 20, 30 points. So on day of when you present in person, that will be you going through your presentation, not you showing us your video again. You'll need to take your video and present it live versus just press and play. Is it okay to use mock-ups along with the working app, maybe to show future projections?
Sure, as long as you meet the minimum specifications.
Will the winning teams be giving all the prize money or partial? Also, will they need to commercialize the app?
We'd love for you to be able to commercialize the app. The funding will be done in milestones. And then also you will have the opportunity to actually receive additional mentorship and an additional program with builders and backers. So the goal is for you to receive the bulk of your funding and also have the opportunity to receive even more funding.
Does the app have to already be launched to the public?
No, it does not have to already be launched to the public, as long as it's a working app that you may have in development. It doesn't even have to be completely done, but we'd like it to be as close as possible, but it does not have to be launched yet.
Are there any other questions? Going once. Questions? Going twice. Do you have any advice on areas people may get stuck on?
Sure. So we've had a number of people to explain that they've gotten stuck on just getting started and being able to down select to what exactly they want to do. Also in figuring out how to pull information from different databases. And then also selecting the software platform that you may want to use, whether you want to use something that you're completely proficient in, or if you want to use something that's more of a low code, no code type of platform and solution. So there are a couple of areas that we've seen people get stuck on, and certainly the ability to pitch their technical application. And really honing in and fine tuning the exact points that they want to show in their pitch. That's another area that some folks have had difficulty with. But if you have difficulty in a specific area, don't hesitate to reach out. We definitely have a bench of technical experts that would be happy to assist, and or we could at least refer you to some of them.
In addition, if any of you have ever been to our power hours, this is where the workshop taught by Mr. Sahib using ChatGPT to help you get unstuck comes in. So that's where you ask those questions and start there so that you can kind of figure out where to go next. Are there any other questions? Should we consider profit margins into account?
Yeah, if you want to look at your funding and if you want to really look and delve into kind of your financial portfolio, what you'll do with the app, especially when you look at the area of the judging that talks about feasibility. So if you per se want to put together, you're designing an app and you're going to sell that app at a subscription price that might be benefiting those in disadvantaged communities, but you're trying to sell it at $100 a month, where someone that's in that disadvantaged community unlikely has $100 a month to spend on an app. Sure. I think you have to consider something like that, because certainly our judges would immediately say, oh, wow, this isn't feasible. This may not work. So for the sake of something in that area, I would say yes. But when it comes to your funding and how you would utilize your funding towards furthering your application, just be reasonable.
Should this be a presentation of the app itself or with a PowerPoint?
So it's both. So for your video submission, your video would likely, you could do it as a PowerPoint, or you could do it as, you could do it speaking. You could speak in the PowerPoint if you'd like. That includes your screen recording of your app. You have the opportunity to do it several different ways. But I will tell you, the majority of people do it as a presentation, where they're doing a voiceover to the presentation and have a screen recording as they're talking through the app. But there's several different setups that you could actually do to do the presentation itself.
What is the time limit during pitch day to pitch?
The time limit is still 5 minutes.
Any other questions? Questions going once? Questions going twice?
Should we consider market competition? Yes.
Any other questions? I don't see any more on my side, Sharice. Do you see any more?
I don't. But those of you that may have additional questions, don't hesitate to send us an email. We will also place this recording on the website and make sure that everyone has it. But we look forward to everyone participating. And if you know of others that would be interested in participating, please spread the word. It'll be a great time.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone.
Have a good evening.
You as well.